I left the bathroom for 5 minutes, maybe less. What I walked back into wasn't my life anymore. Jordan and I had been together for 5 years. We weren't perfect, but we were solid, or so I thought. We moved in together last fall, right after I got promoted. Life had finally started to feel steady. We had our rituals, Sunday brunches, late-night movies, random midweek takeout dates. I thought we were in sync. That weekend, we threw a small get-together. Just a few friends, drinks, music, nothing dramatic. Jordan was in charge of the playlist and kept joking around, laughing with everyone. I remember thinking how good they looked that night, how lucky I felt. I noticed Alex was there, one of Jordan's old friends from university. I never really got close to Alex, not for any reason, just different vibes. Jordan and Alex hugged a little too long when Alex walked in. I caught it, but brushed it off. I wasn't going to be that partner. Besides, Jordan had never given me any real reason to worry. We were honest with each other, or so I believed. The night went on. Drinks were flowing. People were loosening up. Jordan was mixing cocktails in the kitchen, laughing at some joke Alex told. At one point, I noticed them whispering about something. When I asked what was so funny, they just said, "inside joke," and changed the topic. That twinge of something unpleasant stirred in my chest, but I still didn't make anything of it. Sometime after midnight, I started feeling queasy. Maybe it was the sushi or the cheap wine. I excused myself and went to the bathroom, saying I'd be right back. Jordan barely looked up from their conversation. I sat on the edge of the tub for a while, waiting for the nausea to pass. I looked around at our shared space, our towels hanging together, the half-used shampoo bottle we always argued about replacing, the drawer where my toothbrush sat next to theirs. All those tiny, intimate details of two lives intertwined. I remember smiling, thinking how nice it was to feel this safe with someone. That kind of comfort isn't easy to find. I thought about how we met, how we'd overcome rough patches, how we'd promised each other forever on a beach trip last summer. Then I heard laughter echo from down the hall. Not the kind that comes from a group, but from just two people, low, familiar, private. It faded quickly, but something about it felt off. Still, I wiped my face, splashed some cold water, and told myself I was overthinking. I had no reason not to trust Jordan. If you'd asked me 10 minutes earlier, I would have told you they were the person I'd spend my life with. But what I didn't know then, what I was about to walk into, was going to end all of that. I stepped out, still feeling a little off, but ready to rejoin the group. The apartment had shifted. Music was lower, some lights dimmed. A few people had already left. The living room, once full of noise, was quieter. I called out casually. No answer. The kitchen was empty. Glasses on the counter, bottle caps scattered. One glass knocked over like it had been set down too fast. I assumed people had gone to the balcony or one of the bedrooms. I walked down the hallway, half focused on whether I should make tea or just go lie down. Then I heard it. A voice, hushed but clear. Jordan's, followed by Alex's. I paused. The door to our guest room was cracked slightly open. I didn't think. I didn't want to be paranoid, but something told me not to ignore it. I pushed the door just enough to see, and I saw it. Jordan, Alex, close, too close. Jordan's hand on Alex's face, Alex's lips on theirs. I didn't speak. I didn't move. For a second, I wasn't even real. I was standing still, but inside, something collapsed. Jordan's hands slid away quickly when they noticed me. They pulled back like they were caught mid-crime. Jordan said my name, quietly, like it mattered. I turned away. I didn't scream or ask why, I just walked out. The front door wasn't far, but each step felt like miles. I didn't look back. I didn't want to see their faces, or the panic, or the guilt. I needed space to breathe, to feel anything other than that sharp, hot sting behind my eyes. I sat in my car, parked under the flickering streetlight, not knowing where to go. Everything was loud in my head. Every conversation, every plan we made, every time Jordan told me they loved me, It played like a cruel joke. I checked my phone. A message from Jordan. Please come back. I'm sorry. I didn't open it. I couldn't. My hands were shaking. I never imagined that trust, once shattered, could physically hurt. I stared out the windshield, empty streets stretching ahead. I thought about how many times I'd defended Jordan, how I swore they were different, how I ignored signs because I didn't want to be the partner who doubts. But 5 minutes was all it took to change everything. 5 minutes away, and my world burned down without a sound. They made a choice. Not an accident, not a mistake, a decision. There were no excuses that would ever make sense to me, no apology that could put those pieces back. I sat there, holding back tears, realizing that the person I thought would fight for us didn't even hesitate to throw it away. I returned the next morning, not to forgive, not even to talk, just to get my things. The silence when I walked in was different this time, heavy. Jordan stood there, looking like they hadn't slept. Their mouth opened, but I cut them off. I didn't want to hear rehearsed apologies or fragile explanations. I wanted the truth. They tried anyway. It wasn't planned. I don't even know what happened. I asked them to stop pretending it just happened. People don't accidentally kiss. People don't accidentally cross lines that deep. I asked, how long? Jordan paused, too long. Then, a few weeks. I didn't mean for it to go that far. That answer hit harder than anything else. It wasn't a drunken mistake. It was something they chose to keep doing, over and over, while looking me in the eyes every day like nothing was wrong. They said it started after Alex moved back to town, late-night talks, shared history, nostalgia. They said they felt confused. I asked what was confusing about loyalty, about love, about commitment. I wasn't screaming, I wasn't crying, I was too empty for that. Jordan kept talking, trying to frame it like they were lost. I reminded them they weren't lost when they kissed Alex while I was still in the house. They weren't confused when they lied to me day after day. That's not confusion, it's cowardice. They followed me as I packed a bag. Not begging, but pleading in their own quiet way. Please don't go like this. But how else was I supposed to go? Like it was fine, like we'd get over it. Trust isn't a light switch you flip back on. Once it's gone, it's gone. I asked one last thing. Would you have told me if I hadn't walked in? The silence that followed was answer enough. I nodded. No more questions, no more explanations. Before I left, they whispered, I love you. I didn't say it back. I didn't feel it anymore. Or maybe I just didn't believe it when it came from them. Love isn't just words. It's not just the good parts. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's what you choose when it's hard. That day, Jordan chose someone else. Not once, not by accident, but repeatedly. And in that choice, they lost me. Not because I stopped loving them right away, but because I couldn't respect what we had anymore. Walking away wasn't easy. It never is. But staying would have been worse. It would have meant denying my own worth just to keep someone who didn't value it. And that I couldn't live with.